Hi, this is Ken. Welcome to the KNS Brakes Garage. We're going to do another video. It's Christmas time and we got a present from Girodisc for our 6th Gen Camaro SS1LE. I've got some parts laid out in front of me. We'll go over this real quick, but what we have here is the new one-piece direct replacement rotors from Girodisc for the 6th Gen SS1LE. These are the fronts, the rears are here. And just as a comparison, we want to show you the other parts on the car and kind of explain the differences real quick. So just basically it's a 372 by 34 millimeter two-piece rotor assembly, both OEM and the Girodisc as well. The first differences are pretty obvious. You can see this is actually a Girodisc replacement rotor ring that we've have good experience with already, and that works with the OEM GM Brembo hat. And you see their hardware design. We've been selling these for quite a while. And then this is a OEM two-piece rotor that we took off, of course, and put this on. We've run this car quite a bit on track. You see we're wearing through some discs. And then Girodisc has just come out with the full direct assembly. You can tell the hardware is different. They use a D-bobbin and nut and bolt assembly. They still have anti-rattle clips in here. You probably can't see that too good, but that's all that is. This comes fully assembled. While the rotors are the same size, this is not interchangeable with this. So you can select either way. You can take those off and save, use otherwise, whatever, and go to a full Girodisc assembly, or again, replace just the outer. That's your choice going forward. So what we're doing today is we just got these, we're gonna put on the car, make sure they all fit, etc. Show you the differences, and off we go. So a couple things we noticed right away. First thing, this is the OEM rotor ring, and we'll go ahead and do some weights and all that kind of stuff. But right away we noticed the OEM ring has 48 curved vanes. The Girodisc rotor has 72 vanes. They are curved vane, both are curved vane design, which is generally the accepted best way to go. It does give you specific left and right rotors. Anyway, let's try, so we'll weigh the OEM rotor, and unofficially 24 pounds and some change. The Girodisc assembly with for the OEM hat, 22 and change, 22, just under 23 pounds, so about a pound and a half less. This would be maybe a pound more with the hat or so. It's not very heavy, maybe 2 pounds with the hardware. And then we would expect this rotor to be very similar. So yeah, a little over 22 pounds and change for the Girodisc replacement. So that's a look at the front disc. We'll put on the car and show you, we'll go through that real quick in a moment. While we're here, what's kind of cool is the rear disc. So these are the two-piece rear rotors. Now these you probably save a good bit of weight because you'll notice the inner hat section. This is aluminum, of course. This is also your parking brake drum. We probably wouldn't recommend doing, parking brake drifts with it. It's an electric parking brake anyway. Can you even do that? Probably not. Good, because why would you want to? Anyway, we'll grab a one-piece rear disc here and compare exactly what we have. So this is DBA's version of a one-piece disc for the car. A little bit funky with their vane design there. I'm not sure what that's all about, but that's what they did. It also is a reverse vent, meaning the air is coming in from the outside of the rotor to the cooling vanes. More typically, we get air from the inside, but when the hat's shorter, sometimes that's how the design is. Anyway, the one-piece rear, which this is probably very close to the OEM weight. A little hard to hold this one, but you'll see that's about 19 pounds. And we can put the Girodisc rotor on there, and I can tell that's definitely lighter. So there's 14 pounds. So you're definitely going to see some significant weight saving on the rear, about 4 pounds of rotor. So that's fairly significant. Again, also a curved vane design. That's probably a 48 vane rotor for the rear. So there you have it. We'll get these on the car here in a few minutes and show you what we got, and off we go. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna finish off by installing the Girodisc rotors and on the front of the SS1LE, and we're doing the quick version. So the brake jobs in these cars are pretty easy. Pull the center bolt and knock out the 2 pins. The pads will pop right out of the top pretty easily. And in this case, we've had the rotors off before, so the set screw that was on there rusted in and we had to drill that up. That's not uncommon. It's not necessary or needed for anything other than holding the rotor on there when you're doing the reinstall. Once you have the 2 bolts out of the caliper, we use a bungee cord. Just hang that from some part on the car. We use the spring, and that'll keep you from putting too much pressure on the brake line. Rotor comes right off. Most of you would say to be very careful, clean that hub surface. You at least want to look at it. We're just doing a quote at the track brake job. So line up the hole for the set screw and put the rotor back on the car. So we've got the rotor almost installed, just snugging down those caliper bolts. And we'll get the pads in and go to the rear. So I'll give you a teaser. We're about to get some new track pads from Girodisc for this car in the next few weeks. Since the Rebestos ST43s are so hard to get, they've been hard at work trying to get another source for a very long-lasting track pad for the DEs. And while we're going to ride around on some Hawk DTC 60s for a bit, we'll have those pads here shortly and get this car on track. All right, so the front's done, and in the rear, we got the caliper off and up out of the way. Anyway, just a couple of things in the rear. Again, we're taking off the 1-piece disc. And remember, you need to have your parking brake disengaged for this to get the rotor off. Otherwise, you'll have to go do that. But other than that, it should slide right off of the parking brake pretty easily. It may take a little wiggling if the car has a lot of miles, or maybe if you have a lot of miles on it, but that's a typical parking brake assembly inside drum. So now you just slide the Girodisc rotor on there, 5 pounds lighter. Make sure you line up your set screw holes. It should fit right down over. The parking brake, I'm wondering, I guess we'll see when we turn the car back on. It may want to self-adjust itself. We'll have to see what happens there. But simple as that, there you have it. We'll get the caliper and pads back on the car and finish this up. All right, rotor's installed. They look great. Everything fits. Let's go tear them up.